Paula with Exercise 101 along with the UMBC rec. Thank you for joining me for class again today. I want to remind you to always wear loose, flexible clothing for class, including good shoes, although today we're probably going to do a lot of our exercises without shoes, so I want to give you a heads up about that. Also, you're going to need your mat or a beach towel, just something to lay on the floor. But if you choose to not have that because you have carpet or you just don't have access to those items at this time, it's quite all right. You just want something to be soft underneath your knees, your hands, and your toes for when we get to that area or that point of the workout. Please remember to consult your physician should you experience any drastic changes in your body that feel uncomfortable or unusual to you. Always listen to your body. If you're not sure, it doesn't hurt to give them a call and just let them know that you're on a fitness journey. You tried something a little bit new, you felt something a little bit different, and you just want to ask them about it. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media outlets, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and keep up with us because we love having you around. So today we're going to continue on with our class or our series on balance, stability, and range of motion. As I mentioned before, in addition to, of course, doing cardio and doing strength training, we also want to talk about flexibility. And in or underneath the umbrella of flexibility, we talk about the things like stability, flexibility, range of motion, and balance. Okay? So just to review, when we talk about stability, we talk about the shift in weight. We talk about the base of the support being within our limit. An example of that was when we extended our arms out and we lifted our leg up and we produced a lot of balance or stability on one leg as opposed to the other. And then we talked about our stability, so our body joints. Also, coming into alignment to the resistance to change of position. So when we talk about stability, we want to talk about same thing, going back to that same exercise. When we lifted up one leg, this leg, we lifted up the right, the left leg became more stable. You found that it kind of wobbled a little bit because it was shifting and trying to figure out what would be the best place for it to remain so that it could handle the weight that you were putting on it when we lifted or took away the right leg. So balance as well as stability. We're going to need balance throughout the rest of our lives. So make sure that you're always keeping up with those balance exercises, with those strength and conditioning exercises as well, just as much as you do with cardio, because all of those go hand in hand. All right. We also talked about the range of motion. So making sure that we were only going as far to the degree of our body, our particular body, not anyone else's body. So we talked about how, you know, we may see someone next to us and they're able to turn their body almost to the back. Okay. But for us, we are probably limited, or our degree to the range of which we're twisting is limited to where we've stopped. And that is perfectly fine. So keeping those things in mind, I want to bring to your attention, of course, some equipment that you can use to help you with your balance. So the first thing that you can use is a yoga block, okay? You might find this in yoga classes when they place their hands on, they place their feet on them. Sometimes you can use them in a traditional exercise class, and you may find that you can use them as a lighter form of weight. But we're going to use it for balance and stability today. Again, you don't have to have this piece of equipment to be successful on your fitness journey. This is just an option. And perhaps you have this at home and you're not sure what to do with it. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So a yoga block, all right? They sometimes come a little bit thicker, a little bit thinner, but they all typically are used for similar purposes. All right, a balance disc. All right, this is a squishy balance disc. So on the front, it has little bumps on it. On the back, it's more of some elevated bumps and ridges. Okay. So if you stand on this side and your shoes are off, it's not only helping you with your balance, but it's giving you a little foot massage as well. And if you stand on this side, then the bottom side helps to grip to the floor a little bit better. Just to give you a heads up, if you do choose to get one of these, you're going to want to use the side with the little nubs on carpet, okay? And then you want to use the opposite side on hardwood floors, all right? It kind of doesn't matter with the hardwood floors as much, but you'll probably find you have a little bit more, just a little bit more stability when you put the bump side down for the carpet. So a balance disc. And then finally, for my example today, we have a Bosu, okay? This is a smaller Bosu, okay? You can get them quite bigger, higher, more inflated, but this is a mini one. So this Bosu can be used in two ways. You can have it where the bubble side is down, all right? And you can also have it where the bubble side or the rounded side is up. And they typically have little feet on the bottom to help it grip to the floor, okay? So again, just reviewing some pieces of equipment that can help you on your fitness journey. Again, you don't have to buy them. They're just options that I wanted to introduce to you. So let's start off with the block, all right, yoga block. So remember at the beginning I said probably for a bit of class we're going to take our shoes off. Well, now would be the time to take your shoes off. Reason being is because I want your feet to get used to the gripping of the floor or the surface beneath it. And when you're using equipment like this, sometimes it makes it hard for your feet to grip inside of shoes. So go ahead and remove your shoes. You can even remove your socks too if you want to, but you don't have to. And we're going to start off using the yoga block. Now, the exercise I'm going to show you today, these are not limiting you in any way. So I'm not going to show you a ton of exercises, and I can't show you everything. But do know that what I do show you is a nice introduction to some things that you can try on your own. And if you like what you see, then you can further explore and research more options that will work well for you as you continue to progress. Okay? All right. So I am going to get my mat ready. I hope you have your water with you. Okay, never forget your water when you're working out. Stay hydrated. You may be saying, Paula, I never see you drink water. It's camera magic. So, with that being said, get your block. So, with the block today, what we're going to do is we're going to try to do a yoga pose, okay? And we're going to put one foot on the block. So, to start out, before we even do the pose that I'm thinking of, I want you to make an attempt to just stand on the block with one leg. All right, so any leg you want, any foot you want, stand on your block. And lift the other leg up, okay? And again, this is just a start out, base, okay? We want our body to start communicating with each other, each muscle communicating with each muscle, each tendon, each bone, and them talking amongst themselves like in a conference to say, hey, she's got one leg on this block. What are you going to do? And when we do that, and we help the muscles by honing in on the parts of the body that we need. For example, for this part, we need to pull the core in, arms at our side, looking straight ahead, because we don't want to apply any additional weight or pressure to the one leg that is already doing most of the work. Okay, let's switch sides. Okay, now you can keep your toe on the floor, or you can lift it up off of the mat. Notice that when I have less help, okay, when the left leg has less help, then it's going to lean more on the leg that's already doing the work. So my left leg is on the block, and when I lift my right leg more off the mat and balance more, notice my left hip pokes out just a bit. And it tries to come more over the knee and the ankle. Wobbly toes, wobbly ankle. Okay? And come on down. Alright, so just balancing one foot on there, you might find, oh my gosh, this is a little more difficult than I thought. Or you might find it to be super easy. Okay? Alright, the other thing I want us to try is I want us to come down to the mat. And we have done planks before, but today we're going to try a little bit of a different plank. Okay? Now I'm going to show you two options because I realize that we're not all starting on the same level. And that's perfectly fine. So what I want you to do is I want you to come down into your favorite plank. Remember, plank options are you can come down with two hands, palm side down, fingers extended, arms extended. Okay, that's the arm option one. Second arm option is to come down in a bent elbow position. Okay, so you're resting on your forearms and your hands are open, pinky finger down, thumb is up. That is the second arm option position. And then when we get to the legs, we either are coming down to our knees or we're coming fully extended to our toes. All right? So, just to have a visual, options are fingers spread wide with the hands or coming down to the elbows with the hands. For the legs, we're either fully extended on the toes or coming down to the knees. Now remember, when you come down to your knees, you still have to start on your toes because you want to make sure that you're not shifting your weight back once you're down on your toes. Okay? Okay. So, favorite plank position, whichever one you choose. And what I want you to do is, if you have something to elevate your feet on, like this yoga block, then you're going to use it. You can use a book. You can use your stack of newspapers or magazines that we've been using for a step. You can use a small stool or a very kid's chair, whatever option is closest to you and you can gain access to. If you need time to go and get that, go right on ahead. Alright, so now we're using our tool, whatever we have, and I'm going to show you what to do if you don't have a tool, okay? Now, if you do not have access to a yoga block or some tool upon which you can put your feet, because that's what we're going to do, you're first going to come down into your plank option, whichever option you choose. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to lift one leg off of the floor at a time. So if you do 10 seconds on one leg, you're going to do 10 seconds on the other leg. Now, something to remember when you do this exercise is when you lift this leg, your butt should not come up. Okay? It's not a stretch. It's a strength exercise. So keep your plank, lift your leg. Then you switch. Okay? Then you come down for a little bit of a breather and a rest. If you have your tool, like my yoga block, then what you're going to do is you are going to decrease your range of motion, okay? Because the goal is to place both of the feet on the block. Now you might be saying, how do I do that if I'm on my knees? All right? So the thing is, instead of your foot going on the block, one knee is going to go on the block, okay? So to look a little bit more like this, if you're starting off on your knees, I'm placing the block as close to my knee as possible so that after I come out of my full plank, making sure my knee is in position. So I'm going to test it first. So my knee is going to be about here. All right. So full plank, drop the knee, extend one leg. That is your plank hold with one knee down. Okay? And then what you're going to do is place that knee down, switch your block over. Okay. Full plank first. Then drop the knee and lift the leg. And hold. Again, balance exercise. Keeping your hips parallel to the mat. That's the same as saying keeping your hips square. Not opening up to one side, okay? Or the other side. Remembering to do whatever you do on the right to also do it on the left. Balance, okay? Now, for those of you who choose to do the next part by placing both feet on the block, watch me first, and then you join me to make sure we're on the same page. But if you feel like you fully understand what I'm saying and how to do this exercise, then by all means, do it with me. If you have tried one of the previous options and you feel fully comfortable with those options, then practice that option while we work on this next set. All right, so always measure first. See where your feet are. See where your body's going to come down, okay? Measure first, okay? An additional option for those who want to use the block but also stay on your knees, you can come down to your elbows while on your knees and stay here. This is the least regressive or probably the easiest form of plank to do. I would recommend that option or this option for those who are really young in their fitness journey and you're still trying to develop those muscles or have those muscles learn what it means to be a muscle, okay? That has to do the work. So that is a very easy option, but know that I want you to grow. So if you try one of the other options and those worked better for you and you felt your body working, stick with that. Don't go back, okay? Go forward. All right, so full plank. I'm first going to start with my elbows bent. Elbows are going to be underneath my shoulders. And my elbow and wrist are going to be in alignment. And my pinky finger is going to be down. And my thumb is going to be up. And I'm going to lift my knees. And hold. And breathe. And hold. And breathe. Okay? So, I am feeling a stretch in the back of my legs. My core is quivering, getting the strength that it needs. I have limited my range of motion because my feet are no longer a distance apart. I have strengthened, or I'm using more of my arm muscles because my elbows are bent. And we're going to hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Walk your hands in. Okay? So, and not only all of that, but you also have to balance your feet on this block while you're trying to hold your plank. All right? All right, so we're going to do that one more time, keeping whatever plank you like, and then before we move on to the disc. All right? So, feet, measure first, and then you're going to hold. And you're going to hold it until I count you down. All right? Toes are tucked. And let's come on up. Legs together. If your feet are on the block or on whatever you found to put your feet on. And breathe. And hold. And breathe. Make sure your fingers are spread wide. I hope your fingers are close together. And I hope your palm is not up in a TP position, but it's flat on the mat. You can do it. Just hold it. Don't have your high knee in the air. No butts up, but nice and long and lean. Face is parallel with the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. How long should you be holding that? For as long as you're able to grow. Ideally, At least 15 seconds. More if you can. But don't do it to the point where your form starts to compromise. Okay? And don't do it to the point where you're punishing yourself. Okay? We're only doing it to the point of growth. Itty bitty growth every time. Alright, let's get that disc. Now, again, Paula, you might be saying, I don't have a disc. That's fine. But I want to at least show you some options that you can do with the disc. So, again, I always start with standing when I'm doing balance because you're used to standing. Your body is used to standing and balancing. Your body's not technically used to sitting and balancing, okay? So start with what your body's used to. Start from standing. And the way I start from standing on the disc is where's the yoga block, which was firm on the inside of the block as well as the outside. So it was firm all throughout. This disc is not firm all throughout. It is very hollow in the middle. It's just air. And so I would not start with 1 foot on this disc. I would start with 2 feet on the disc. 2, not 1. So I'm going to start with 1 foot at a time, getting on top, and I'm going to attempt to find my balance. Now, please notice my knees are bent on this disc. The reason my knees are bent is to help me get my grip on gravity while elevated on this disc, okay? So the closer you get to the ground, maybe the easier it is for you. I know it is for me. The more upright I am, okay, a little bit harder it is. It's kind of like when you're on a stand-up board or paddle board, okay? You want the more upright you are, probably the more stable you are depending on the person, the lower you are, like on a surfboard, the more height you get, the more control you have. So, with that being said, you would want to start with both feet, pretend to be a surfer, okay? Swivel your hips back and forth, again, to get the feel of it. And then come on. And when you do that, you'll notice that right here in the thighs, you'll find that you have thighs. And the muscles inside and outside will introduce themselves to you, okay? So that's your balance board. They're pretty inexpensive to find, and you can find it pretty much anywhere, or probably at your local sporting goods store. Also, again, remember I said you can turn it over on the other side. You can get a bit of a massage at the same time. So I'm going to do the same thing. Stand on top. And hold. Okay. Now, if you wanted to try this, but you don't have necessarily a balance disc, or you could try, I don't know if it would be the most optimal option, but sometimes you can get one of those mylar balloons, you know, the ones from your local party store, not latex, mylar, and just have it filled up to the point where it has a form, not completely. And you could take that and use that as an option. So if you have an old balloon from a little little party that you had at your house, you could try that as well. All right? All right, so balancing on the disc. Then once I get my feel for standing on the disc, then you can do the option of one leg on the disc. All right? Sometimes people find this the easiest of them all because you can just put your foot right in the middle and you feel very stable. 1 foot off the mat. You can extend the leg. Okay? Same thing on the other side. Never leave one side hanging. So do whatever you do on the right, on the left. It's okay if you need to tap the toes to the mat. Okay, because again, your dominant side is going to be the most stable side, whereas your other side needs work. Another option I would try with the disc is come to seated. And once you're seated and your feet are on the mat, I want you to lift up one leg at a time and just hold. All right? And just hold. And when you're ready, you come down. So again, those are just some little things that you can do with the balance disc. If you choose to get one, you don't have to. All right, finally, the Bosu. Very versatile piece of equipment. But when we're talking about it with balance, we can put it bubble side down. There are oftentimes handles on the inside that you can grip to. And with the Bosu, I start sitting as opposed to standing, okay? So for the Bosu now, I would want to sit first on it, bubble side down, with my hands on the side, okay? And I often start trying to crisscross applesauce on top of the Bosu. So I'll bring one leg first, and then the opposite leg, okay? And I hold, all right? Now, notice it is still wobbly with me. So the better the posture, the more the stability, okay? And again, just breathe and hold. Breathe and hold, okay? All right, another option with your Bosu, once you can get your legs down, okay, is you can try a core exercise that also helps with your balance. Do not attempt this exercise if you have lower back issues, okay? So what you want to do is give a little lean to your Bosu and lift up one leg at a time and hold, okay? Still going to wobble with you, but it's definitely going to make you draw in on your core. All right, and then another one I want to show you with the Bosu. Again, you don't have to get a Bosu, but just a couple of options in case you choose to get it is you can also do your plank with this Bosu, but instead of your feet being on the Bosu, which they can be, you'd use your hands, all right? And with your hands, you press down on the side and hold, and you simply hold your plank. So it's a simple exercise that you can do with the Bosu. All right, so just a few things to do with balance equipment should you choose to get it. You don't need them, but in case you choose to get them, then you will have them. All right, so let's review what we've talked about so far in regards to balance, stability, and range of motion. Let's start off with something we tried early in our journey together, which is our wall sit or a wall squat. You can keep your shoes off so that you don't have to put them on and take them off again, okay? All right. So for our wall sit, we are going to put our back up against the wall, arms at our side, walk our feet out, and make sure our ankles are underneath our knees and hold, okay? Finding our place of center, connecting the mind and the body, and breathing. And we're going to hold this for another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Good. Now this time when we do our wall sit, we're going to take the right leg and put it over the left leg. The last time we did it, remember I showed you can keep your foot crossed at the ankles, or you can gently start to bring it up where the ankle is over the knee, okay? It is not a rush movement. However long it takes you to get it up there, that's fine. Once you get there, you're going to hold it, okay? All right, so here we go. So back against the wall, slide out, slide down, walk your feet out, okay? Once you get into your position and you're nice and stable, you're going to inch your left leg in a little bit, and then take your right leg and bring it up, okay? Now, you can keep it down here, crossing the ankles, or you can lift it up. And if you notice, I was kind of slouching to the right, so all I did was I came up a little bit, adjusted myself so that I would have better posture. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, leg down, and come on up. Okay? Now we're going to do the other side. Now remember, bring that leg as much to the center as possible. All right? Because if you think about it, you're limiting yourself to about 3 points, 3 pressure points. So you have your 2 shoulders, back of your shoulders pressed against the wall. And then you have your 1 leg on the floor. And that's supposed to kind of hold you up and keep you stable. Everything else in the middle is aiding that movement, okay? So just keep that in mind. So now we're going to bring the left leg over the right, okay? So come on down, wherever your wall sit is in the journey. And right leg, inch it over, okay? Make sure you're nice and center before you lift the leg. And I have to adjust a little. So make sure you lift. Good. And if you want an additional stretch while you're balancing, you can take your hand of the same side of the leg that's across and simply press. And just breathe. And 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Very nice. Very nice. All right, now we're going to go into, remember our wall push-ups? That was also part of our balance exercise, but this time we're going to place 1 leg behind the other. So right behind the left. Hands on the wall. Fingers outstretched. Arms are fully extended. Palms are flat, okay? And we're going to do a set of 10. 10 on the right, 10 on the left. So my left leg is going to come center. And when I say center, I mean halfway between both of my hands that are on the wall. That would be my center, okay? So while we start out with good posture, okay, so we can have our alignment set for our push-up, I am then going to bring my leg center, okay, halfway between my 2 hands, and bring my right leg behind my left, okay, so I can limit my range of motion, the degree at which, I am doing this exercise, and create some instability to build on the stability in my left leg, the leg that is on the mat. And then I'm going to lower my chest down for 10 push-ups. All right, here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Uncross the legs, switch the legs out. Okay, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Uncross the legs, and let's do a second set. Okay? And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. All right, shake your arms out, grab your water if you need it. because now we're going to go into our standing one-legged pose, okay? So make sure you have some arm room around you. And always make sure there are no obstructions in your way when you're working out to avoid any accidents, okay? All right, so feet are ready, arms are out. You're going to place both feet, okay, underneath your hips, and you're going to inhale and exhale. Remember, keep your feet here if you choose to. Otherwise, a little bend in your knee to start. As you continue to lift the leg, look down at your mat. It's okay if the ankle wobbles to find its stability. And come on up. And let's do the other side. Right leg down, looking up to start. Inhale and exhale. Okay, don't rush it. Take your time. Wait till your body is ready. Hold it for 10 seconds at least. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Okay, now let's do it again. This time I'm going to face you. Right side, then left side. Okay. Just making sure I have enough space. All right, so arms out. You're going to see my ankle wobble. Okay. Starting off with good posture. And inhale. And exhale, lift up. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. Other side. Other side, okay? Arms are out. And right leg is going to stay down while the left leg is elevated. Here we go. And lift. Okay. Come on up. Once you're where you want to be, hold it for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, as you saw, I lost my balance after the 7th second, and that's what happened. So I counted down, had 3 left to go, and then I got wobbly, and I just made sure I was ready to put my leg down to catch myself. And that works. So as I continue to work on this part of my body, I'll grow in that area. All right, let's have a seat on the mat. Do a seated twist. And when we do our seated twist, remember, I'm going to sit sideways so you can see me in an upright position. And when you see me from an upright position, this is just a little reminder to you that you want to have good posture. Sitting on your sit bones. Arms are going to be bent at the elbows, close to the chest. Okay? Inhale, and this is where we twist. Remember, inhale, and we're going to twist to the right side. Range of motion is what we're practicing. Twisting, not leaning. My spine should be nice and tall. So should yours. And come back to the center. Now, other side. Okay. Feet still together. You see? Not passing each other like so. Still together. And come back to the center. Let's try that again. And back to the front. And left side. Back to the front. Good. Now right side. Back to the front. Left side. And to the front. And each set that you do, you might find you go a little bit farther, okay? Let's last time, last set. And to the center. Other side. And center. Good. Arms down. Okay, that's great. Now we're going to try a yoga pose. Now, that yoga pose, I told you I would show you at the beginning. Now I'm showing to you now. So, what I want you to do is I want you to come to standing. When you come to standing, I want you to have your yoga block, if you have one, close to you. If you don't, you're going to have something stacked, your magazine stacked, whatever you have, your elevated portion, close to you. And we're going to do this pose first with our feet on the mat. Then we're going to try it with it on the block. Okay, so grab some water if you haven't already, and let's try this. So come to standing. Feet are hip distance apart. And what I want you to do is, it's not much different than what we practiced on the yoga block, but it's causing you to bring your leg up a little bit higher. So first, with your hands on your hips, I want you to bring your left leg to the inside of your right leg, okay? Kind of like you're showing yourself off, and or like you're a ballerina. I think this is the second pose. Otherwise, think of it any way you want to. Now, as you find your balance, I want you to start drawing your leg up on the inside. Now, I want you to be sure that your knee is out to the side, but your body is facing forward, okay? So don't do a whole bunch of extra movement as I was doing, and I lost my composure or my posture or my balance, but focus on the activity. Slide your leg up as far as you can go. Hold it there for a second, okay? Then, if you're able to, once you hold it there for about 5 seconds and you're feeling stable, draw it up. Okay? And once you hold it there and you're feeling stable, go a little higher. Chest out. Hold it. Breathe. And let's switch. Okay? All right, so starting off in your Superwoman, Superman, Superperson pose, okay? You want to draw the leg in, toes are down first, find your stability, knee is out to the side, not forward, but out to the side, while your hip is forward, your hips, your pelvis is forward, actually, and draw up, hold it. Allow your feet to grab, your toes to grab the mat. Allow the leg that is down on the mat to find its stability. And then continue to draw up. Good, and breathe. Up. And if you come out of it, that's fine. Start over. Again, remember, your dominant side is going to be the stronger side. And hold and lift. And notice for me, I was able to get my leg all the way up, but my right leg, not so much for my left side. Okay? And wherever you stop, that's where you stop. Okay, now what I want us to do is I want to try with our arms extended. Okay? And we're going to see if we're a little bit better or worse. worse. And it doesn't matter. It's not a grade that you're getting. It's just an assessment that you're doing to see where you stand. Okay? Progression, not perfection. All right, so arms out to your side, shoulder height. Leg in. Okay? And draw it up. Hold and breathe. Draw it up. Hold and breathe. You got it. Draw it up. Hold and breathe. Good. Other side. Toes down, knees out, arms are up. Okay? All right. Draw it up. Hold and breathe. Focus on yourself. Focus. Move it up. Hold and breathe. Hold it. And lower down. All right, so now we're going to get that block, okay? And if you were like me and you have some instability as well without the block, it may be surprising to you to know that creating less stability, you may find that you're actually a little bit better at it, better at the pose. But if not, clear everything around you so that if you should have a misstep, then you're not causing yourself to be harmed by anything around you, okay? So we're going to try it because we're all about growth. And I'm going to step on the block with my right foot first. So remember, we started out like this. And with our introduction to the yoga block. Okay? All right, so I'm standing on my block. Arms are going to be out. And foot's going to be in. And holding and breathing. Then lifting and holding and breathing. Three, two, one. Good. Okay, let's try the other side. I don't know about you, but I felt a little bit more stable on the block on my right side, even though that was my dominant side. Okay, let's try it on the other side. Okay, arms up. Foot in. And lift. One more. Now, this is what I was talking about. I felt so much more stable on the block with my left leg than I ever did on the floor. I don't know what it is about elevation sometimes and creating a higher point of which you feel more unstable, but sometimes your body just needs it. But it could also be the fact that we just tried it 3 times and my body was not used to it. So I recommend that maybe you try it on the block by yourself the next time with the unstable side first and see if the stability grows with you on that unstable side. All right, so we're going to take our 3 breaths because we did it. That's it. So with your feet underneath your hips, come on down. Inhale and exhale. Again, pour your belly button in. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Good job today. I want to thank you so much for joining me for Exercise 101. I know we didn't sweat it out, probably what you were not expecting, but I do want you to know that it doesn't require you to end in a pool of sweat in order for you to have a good workout. Continue on your journey, and I look forward to seeing you at your next pit stop. Bye now.